Hi there, Desirea. It's Mrs. Linda Meyer. I told you that we would look over some of your quizzes and kind of talk about those. So let's get to it. I'm going to go over 3 of your quizzes. Just so you know, your Rome quiz, I went and gave you an additional attempt. So you can go back if you want and go retake that quiz. Just so that you can hopefully get just a little bit higher quiz score for one of those, okay? Remember, for your unit test, I already gave you an additional attempt, and you get twice as long each time you take it, so you should have plenty of time, okay? We can always go over your first attempt if you take it early enough, and then we can do something kind of like this for right before your second attempt if you would like, okay? So your 1.4 ancient civ quiz. The first one that you got incorrect was about the Neolithic era. You had put that people, basically people became a thing, like humans emerged. And the Neolithic era is actually about the planting of crops. So that starts agriculture, which allows for us to build civilizations and have things like governments and religions, and it increases our, what do you call it, like yep, like our life expectancy. Holy moly, that was rough. Feels like Friday today. Is it just me? Just kidding. So anyways, so that was one that you got incorrect there. Another one, and I wanted to go over this one specifically with you. This was something that was on your reading guide, and it was about the Code of Hammurabi, or Hammurabi's Code, whatever you want to say. And it's basically, if a noble has knocked out the tooth of another noble of his own rank, then they shall knock out his tooth. So very equal, like tooth. But if he knocked out the tooth of a commoner, he just has to pay him some money for that commoner's tooth. So what this shows is that you had put that all people were equal, but that's not true. In fact, Hammurabi's Code was extremely better for nobles and men in general. If you were a woman, especially a lower class woman, you were not doing so well, and same with being a slave. So the correct answer was that there was divisions between the social classes. Okay? For the 2.3 world religions quiz, there's a major difference between Hinduism and Buddhism, and you had said that it was about reincarnation, but Hindus and Buddhists both believe in the idea of reincarnation, probably because Siddhartha Gautama was a Hindu before he founded the faith of Buddhism. So the correct answer is that Hindus are put into a caste system, so it's just like a social pyramid, and that's how they kind of run their reincarnation cycle. Buddhists do not worry about a caste system at all. In fact, I noticed that with this quiz in particular, a lot of these questions were answered in my, in my own lecture. It wasn't for turning in for credit, but it was for actually like listening to the lecture, and you had boxes and bullets. So you might want to go back and look at that lesson, because I noticed that a lot of those were the things that you had incorrect. The other piece was about Muslims, all right, and Islam in particular, the religion, right? So Muslims are people that practice the religion of Islam, just like Christians are the people who practice the religion of Christianity. And it was their acts of salvation, like what they do, what their rituals are, and that is the 5 pillars of faith. You had put the 10 commandments, which is odd because the next one that you got wrong, the last one, was about Judaism and Christianity. And the thing that they do have in common is the fact that they both actually practice the 10 commandments. However, you have put on there that they both worship Jesus, and that's not the case. The Jews believe that the Messiah, who's Jesus to the Christians, has yet to come. So he hasn't come yet. And Christians believe that Jesus fulfilled the prophecies that were in the Old Testament. And that's just it. So the Jews believe that there's someone still coming, and Christians believe that Jesus is the person that was prophesied in the Old Testament. So that's it for your religions quiz. And then finally, on over to Greece. The Alexander the Great, that came directly from your discussion board, okay? And it's Alexander the Great is significant in history for all the reasons except. And you had on there Center of Learning and Knowledge in the form of a city named Alexandria. He actually had lots of cities named Alexandria, but this was the particular one that's in Egypt, that's still in Egypt today, in fact. But he was not someone who So that was correct, because he did all three things: spreading the Greek culture, conquered lands like Persia, India, Egypt, being overly oppressive to the people that he conquered, a reason why some people might have said that he was a villain, and then founding a center of learning and knowledge in the former city of Alexandria. He did all three of those things. The thing he did not do, he was not a champion for democracy. He didn't care what people thought. The Persian Wars, this is just, again, this is something that you would have had to have read in your reading guide. And so this was, they fought in all the places except Syracuse, is a place in New York. So that was the correct answer, I should say, in terms of the accept questions. Looks like maybe the accept questions were kind of a problem for this particular quiz. So they did indeed fight at Salamis, Thermopylae, and Marathon. In fact, Marathon is where we get that. He ran 26 miles and dropped dead. What was his name? Oh my gosh, it's gonna drive me nuts. Dang it, it's gone. I'll come back to it in a second. I bet I'll remember, and then I'll send you another video. Just kidding, I won't. So those are the two that you got incorrect on your Greece quiz, okay? I did give you another attempt on Rome, so if you want to take the time to go and retake that, that's great. I did want to give you just like a quick, like, I don't know, like something to make you a little happy. Most of the points in this class are not tied to quizzes or tests. Don't get me wrong, there are some assessment points, but it's those projects and short answer questions that will really help you out quite a lot in this class. And honestly, you do so good on all of the assignments. I have a feeling it's literally just multiple choice tests that are just problematic for you, and that's okay. Some people are just really not good at taking multiple choice tests, and that's fine. So there are no more short quizzes after this unit. It's just going to be unit tests, and again, you have 2 attempts and you have extra time on all unit tests. I've already set those up for you. Okay, let me know if I can do anything else to support you, and I hope you are having a really great day, and yeah, get in touch if you need me. Okay, thanks, Desirea.